afternoon. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate our veterans and our community. My name is Jared Sparks. I'm the building principal here at Boyertown Area Senior High School. Our presentation today is intentionally student-focused. The idea, design, collaboration, and nearly every other aspect that encompassed this moment was entirely student-driven. Our staff, specifically Mr. Blyler and Mrs. Miller, helped guide their creativity while providing them support throughout the process. The knowledge that our students helped to gain and gather through various aspects of our curriculum helped them with the communication, engineering, 3D model printing, and most importantly, the power and desire to lead and make an impact. I'd like to thank our central administration, Mr. Stout, who was unable to be here today, as well as Dr. David Heiser, who's joining us as well, our school board members, which I know many of you have joined us and are in the audience today, as well as our faculty and staff and our students for their efforts and support. Finally, and most importantly, I'd like to thank our veterans for their service to our country. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Social Studies Department Chair, Mr. Stephen Blyler.
Thank you, Mr. Sparks. It has been an honor to work on the Veterans Memorial over the past years with so many excellent students and so many excellent staff members. As we proceed through our ceremony today, please take note of all of our talented students, whether it's the show choir, our ROTC, our FBLA students. You'll see many students today doing their very best. For many of us, this project became a passion project, something that we just couldn't stop working on. Today we're going to share some of the history of this project and show our deep appreciation to our veterans. We will recognize those who gave their lives for our country. We will also recognize the veterans that you, the community, recognized with your support of our project. We've taken our passion project as far as we can. We're turning it over to you. It is our hope that you, the community, will embrace our project and carry on our mission forward as we dedicate this memorial to our veterans. At this time, I would like to welcome our first student presenter to the podium, BASH Senior and FBLA Officer, Sylvia Tex.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Tex. I'm here with two other FBLA officers today, Angelina Laird and Jenna Chrisman. For today, we're going to start off with our thank yous, then we're going to rise for the pledge and BASH show choir, then we're going to through the history of the memorial, recognizing the veterans, and the unveiling outside. For our first thank you, we wanted to thank Mr. Sparks and the BASH administration. Their total support made the completion of this project possible. Our next thank you is for Dr. Foley. He is unable to be here today due to a previous commitment. However, we recognize him because he worked tirelessly with FBLA through the process of approval. Our next thank you goes to Engelman Masonry. Mr. Andy Engelman built the memorial you will see in several minutes. He is a graduate of Boyertown. We are grateful for his willingness to work on such a large project with a student organization. The fact that this project was student-led scared away many contractors. Mr. Engelman wanted to work on this project because it was for Boyertown and because it was student-led. Thank you for your hard work and flexibility with this project. Our next thank you is for Rolling Rock Building Stone. This local quarry supplied the beautiful bluestone capstones you will see on the pillars of the monument. Thank you. Our next thank you is for Boyertown Area School Board and Administration. A project like this one cannot happen without support at the highest levels of oversight in the district. We thank both the BASD School Board and Central Administration for believing students can accomplish a project like this one. Many school board members are here today. Our last thank you is for the Facilities and Operations Department. Long before this project transformed into the final project you'll see later today, Mr. Scott Shield was there behind the scenes. Our first real meeting about an outdoor memorial occurred in his office 4 years ago. He always believed in our project. He supported us, gave us critical advice at just the right time, and never stopped working behind the scenes to make it happen. Thank you, Mr. Scott Shield. Last but not least, thank you to all of our donors. As all of our donors know, we asked the community to believe in our project. In order to fund our project, we needed to raise a sum of money that should be out of reach for a student organization. However, local community organizations businesses, groups, and individuals answered the call and purchased over $27,000 worth of bricks. Thank you to everyone in this room that supported our project through the purchase of a brick. Now a word from Sean Drakely from the Senator Pennychuck's office.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for thinking of our office. Thank you to Mr. Blyler for inviting us out here today. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Tracy Pennycook's office, who is a veteran herself of the United States Army of 26 years. And she wasn't able to make it to the project unveiling today, but she asked me to be here on her behalf because these types of projects mean so much to her. So I'm going to read off this certificate that we'd like to present on Senator Pennycook's behalf to the school. So it reads, Boyertown Area School District, in commemoration of your new Veterans Memorial, the continuing development of a strong Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the United States of America depends on individuals with a commitment to freedom, justice, and patriotism. In efforts to recognize the heroes of the United States military, our communities often come together to dedicate sites that reflect our gratitude for their honorable service to this nation. May this certificate and the memorial it commemorates serve as lasting reminders of the sacrifices made by countless brave veterans and their families. Thank you, everyone.
We would now like to start our presentation with our NJROTC and Bass Show Choir.
Over, march. Color guard, hold. Left, face. Reset. Colors.
Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose much stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bells were singing in air. It moved through the night as our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Carry. Colors. Ready, cut. Right, face. Over, march.
You may now be seated. Show choir has one more song to sing with us.
Imagine chorus, blow your trumpets, angels, and arise, arise from death, you numberless infinities of souls. And to your scattered bodies go, all whom the flood flooded and fire shall overthrow. All whom order, rage, agues, tyrannies, despair, law, chance have slain, shall be
welcome Angelina Lair. Hello all, my name is Angelina Lair and I'm an FBLA member and a senior here at BASH. I will be giving a short presentation on the history of our memorial. So I'd like to begin when the whole concept began for the memorial in 2015. Mr. Blyler was head of the BASH History Club. The original idea was to recognize veterans with an interactive screen inside the school. The money that we began raising for that began with 2016 with a push-up contest. In order to research the 82 fallen veteran heroes that we now have on our memorial outside, the History Club began extensive research into the individuals that fell in battle in the geographic boundaries of the school district. A list like this does not exist. Since the vast majority of World War I and World War II service members didn't graduate high school, research was very challenging. However, History Club managed to compile a list of the 82 names of fallen heroes that spans the Civil War to the Iraq War. In 2019, Mrs. Stacy Miller was asked to begin advising our Future Business Leaders of America Club here at BASH. She invited Mr. Stephen Blyler to also join her in that, and he agreed as long as he was able to bring this project with him. Also in 2019, it was brought to Mr. Blyler's attention that the flagpole outside of our school was in disrepair and could also be an option for him if he wanted to pursue a Veterans Memorial outside. This project then began with the help of 5 exceptional members from FBLA in 2020. Nate Ansu was one of our earlier FBLA officers who was around during the beginning of the project and who helped to keep the project on track. Damon was a previous FBLA president who again was around towards the beginning. He participated in a lot of meetings and presentations to get approval from our school board. Ryan Schatz was an FBLA member that last year did a majority of the actual calculations for the memorial. Gavin Lochnowski was an FBLA member and the idea originator for the large-scale outdoor project. Ryan Zelesnock was the FBLA president last year, who also helped to iron out the details and ensure that things were going as planned with the project. 4 of them were able to be with us here today. I would like to invite them to please stand. We wanted to thank you for all of your hard work with this project. As Mr. Sparks mentioned in the beginning of his introduction, a lot of the things that were used in order to make this project possible were learned here at BASH. Just some of those are examples include CAD software, calculus, geometry, and 3D printing. We were able to take the wall that was in bad condition outside and repurpose the stone onto our bench in order to keep those pieces of history and combine old with new. Also, the plaque that was commemorating veterans before is now in our counseling office. You will be passing that area when we go outside to see the memorial, so you can take a look at that on the way out. Those stones were repurposed, and as you can see on this 3D model, they were reclaimed for the sides of the memorial. The funding for this project came out to be an overall cost of about $35,000. 2/3 of that money came from donors and sponsors, which is about $23,000, and the remainder, which is roughly $12,000, came from our own FBLA fundraisers, like our Hershey Kiss sales and our Wooden Rose sale. These fundraisers weren't the highest in return value individually, but our club sold them on such a large scale that combined, we were able to cover the rest of the memorial. For example, each wooden rose cost about 20 cents, but we sold them by the thousands each year we did them, so we would earn a lot of money subsequently. And now a short video from one of our BASH students, Giancarlo Gargano.
It began in November 2015 when I had something called the History Club, and this began as a project in the context of that club. After that, about 2018, I started co-advising FBLA with Mrs. Miller, and we sort of moved the project from History Club to FBLA, and then we've been working on it in the context of that club ever since. And as we did more research, as we kind of went along the process, we realized that we wanted to go and recognize everyone that fell in combat, and we also got the opportunity to move the project outside. When you move outside, everything becomes bigger. The project became bigger, the cost became bigger, and that led to the increased amount of time it took to complete. Building the memorial was a process that started with the club, where we came up with the designs, the blueprints. We then went to all the appropriate channels. We went to the school board, we went to local township meetings, and then from there we went and got different bids for the contract. And the project that you see today was built by Engelman Masonry. We had a desire to recognize both veterans that served and then veterans that gave everything. And we're trying to create something here at Boyertown, at the high school, that would do both of those things. I remember when we first hit the magic number for funding. Mrs. Miller sent me a text with a picture of the envelope saying we got it. And that was just the moment where we knew we were gonna do it. We knew we had it, and it was just a matter of getting the construction materials, going through the process. That was a really exciting moment. Another exciting moment was our official groundbreaking that took place where we had a few students come back to ceremonially break ground at the flagpole. That was a special moment. So at this moment, the plan is to maintain the memorial we have. So one of the things we've done is we've created an extra account that's going to be in charge of maintenance funds. So if there's anything that needs to be done in the future, we'll have a starting point. It's designed to be for everybody, and then we're going to do our best to maintain and preserve what we're creating today.
We would now like to take this time to recognize the veterans that are here today, as well as the people who donated to our cause. If you are able, we would like you to please stand. Thank you for your service to our country, and thank you to those who donated. Now I would like to invite Jenna Chrisman to the podium.
Hello everyone, I'm Jenna Chrisman, an FBLA member and a senior here at BASH. We would now like to take a moment to recognize the veterans we honor today. On the monument are the names of 82 soldiers from our district who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. After each name, you will hear a bell rung by a member of our ROTC to honor the life, service, and legacy of the fallen. As a reminder, you can find each of the names in the program. Charles C. Deffrin. David B. Radnauer. Elias Hartenstein. Edward Neal. Frederick Boyer. Peter Y. Strunk. Samuel Leidig. Amos A. Conrad. Archie B. Schultz. Charles B. Yerger. Daniel E. Reppert. Edgar A.K. Bauer. Frank F. Hobart. Frank Ettinger. George D. Kaiser. Grover P. Erb.
Harry H. Esbach. Thomas T. Megerly. Robert G. Scott. Victor E. Bauer. Wilson S. Keller. Albert Carr. Anthony F. Bellini. Charles R. Fritz. Clinton M. Weller. Daniel M. Weller. Daniel W. Kroll. Donald B. Schock. Earl E. Bidewell. Earl H. Carl. Earl L. Gift. Earl R. Fryer. Earl R. Miller. Earl Y. Heller. Elmer S. Boyer. Elmer W. Reeser. Ernest Bittenbender. Harris Rigner. Harold S. Loeb. Harry S. Peters. Herbert P. Bauer. Irvin T. Landis. Erwin C. Klein. James H. Meitzler. James I. Meitzler. John F. Albitz. John W. Ettinger. Kerwin H. Hurst. Lawrence Heller. Lawrence H. Sell. Leonard J.K. Moyer. Leroy L. Stengel Jr. Lester E. Stelz. Linwood Schaefer. Lloyd G. Rhodes. Melvin Endy. Melvin Levingood. Paul Singer. Paul M. Nest. Paul R. Strocker. PFC Curtis D. Heimbach. Ralph S. Heimbach. Robert Grieve. Robert Moyer. Robert R. Miller. Robert J. Melcher. Roy R. Rohrbach. Thomas W. Forsyth. Vincent W. Acker. Wilbur Moser. William C. Groff. William H. Moyer. Donald M. Burkholder. Paul Seawolf Jr. Alvin G. Mutter. Carl G. Beck. Clyde E. Tribal Jr. Richard A. Moore. Ronald S. Stepsy. Ted R. Miller. Terry L. Moser. William R. Gendebian. Travis C. Zimmerman. We are honored to be able to memorialize these veterans for their courage and sacrifice. I would now like to welcome Senior Hannah Paul to the stage to recite a poem.
Thank you. My name is Hannah Paul. I'm a senior here. I wrote this poem based on the comfort that I felt last year at my great-grandfather's funeral. It's called Mourning. I stood in the drizzle, my boots resting atop damp earth, and watched the horn lift into the air to sing as the loveliest hearth. It didn't matter how fingers slipped on brass keys, long notes, long marches, low notes, low skies. Stripes and stars danced as the flag began to glide. I know he found brothers. I know he found love. I know he seldom spoke about what he had done. But I stood in the drizzle, boots atop the resting earth, because I believe that he fought for the people's worth. Warmth, so the horn sung. Thank you.
For the rest of the time, we are going to go outside for the unveiling, the wreath laying, playing taps, and raising the flag. FBLA members will lead the community members out, and everyone else will follow.
Yeah, Jack's big win with the
Welcome back. In just a moment, we will unveil the Boyertown Area High School Veterans Memorial to the public for the first time. At the end of our ceremony, I trust that many here will take pictures of the monument. The lighting, angles, and filters in the photos might vary, but the memorial will be unchanging. However, the meaning of those photos will be unique to each and every one of you. Some guests with us today are remembering someone they lost, a lost son. For some, a lost brother. Some guests today are recognizing a family member who didn't receive the recognition they deserved when they came home. Some guests are surprising a loved one with a brick they didn't know about. Some guests today are recognizing their families' or businesses' commitment to our veterans. The pictures you take will be similar, however, everyone will view this monument through a unique perspective. I encourage you to remember that behind each name engraved on this memorial is a story. May this memorial encourage us to look beyond the name and thank the person. Remember the person behind the name. At this time, I want to invite several guests to assist with the unveiling of the monument. Each guest had a critical role to play in the story of this project. First, I would like to welcome our 4 returning BASH alumni and FBLA members to the podium. Nate Ansu, Damon Sanga, Gavin Lushnowski, and Ryan Schatz. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Andy Engelman to the podium as well. He worked tirelessly with us and created something truly beautiful for the community. It is only fitting that he helps us unveil this. Thank you, Andy. Lastly, I would like to welcome Stacy Miller, who is up here already. She's also going to help us unveil the monument. None of this would happen without her support. When we sold bricks, on my desk right away was brick number 1 from her. Thank you. After we unveil the monument, a few things will happen. We will go and have a little more in our presentation. So We'll unveil it, and then we'll go from there. Next, we are going to continue our service here with two things happening at the same time. So first, we are going to have two presentations of flowers up here at the podium. There will be a wreath presented by Mr. Scott Davidheiser and Mr. Jared Sparks. There will also be a bouquet presented by Betty Zimmerman, who is the stepmother of Travis Zimmerman, one of our fallen veterans up here. She is here on behalf of both her stepson and also American Gold Star Mothers Incorporated. So we're going to present flowers and then also light taps. Next, I would like to invite NJROTC to please raise the flag over our veterans. this moment, I'm going to invite us to take a brief moment of silence, think about our veterans. Thank you. Now I'm going to invite Mrs. Stacy Miller to conclude our program.
Thank you all for being here. In closing, thank you so much for attending and supporting this project. This project has been a long time coming and has been worth every second that we have spent to get to this point. I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief that it is finally finished. Words cannot express how excited we are about this. On a personal note, there are bricks on here honoring my father, honoring my cousin, honoring my great-grandfather, and I want to thank them and all of the veterans present for their service to our country. May this memorial be a small reminder of everything that you have done for us. And with the closing of this ceremony, I declare that this Veterans Memorial is officially dedicated. Thank you so much for coming. This ends our program. Please come take pictures and look and enjoy what we have here for the community. Thank you and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody.